Yes, so we're just holding these brand new microphones.
Mm-hmm. But they're crisp.
Yeah, we haven't pressed record. Oh my God. Hello, everybody. What a start to the podcast. Before we say play the music, Rachel, let's just tell everybody what just happened, Isabel.
We started recording.
No, we didn't. We started speaking.
We started speaking.
For about 5 minutes, explaining what a fraught day we've had. We've had a very fraught day.
It's been very tense.
Yeah, we've got a new setup for the podcast. We've got brand new microphones, so I hope they're sounding okay. We're filming it on the camera. This is all part of the 3-set stuff I've been talking about, learning how to use the camera. But we have had a very fraught couple of hours trying. If we could spin the camera around to show you the room, we'd be embarrassed. There are boxes and baskets and paper and cardboard everywhere because it's been a little bit tense. So the point where we made a decision to make a capital purchase. We'll tell you more about that in the podcast. Play the music, Rachel.
30 minutes, no more than 45, with Justin Morehouse. It's 30 minutes, no more than 45, with Justin Morehouse. No promises, be nice to your nana, no, don't do drugs, be nice to your nana. It's 30 minutes, no more than 45, with Justin Morehouse.
Okay, everybody, welcome to episode 291 of About 30 Minutes, No More Than 45, with me, Justin Morehouse, and my daughter, Izzy Morehouse.
Hi.
Hi, how are you?
I am good. How are you?
And we're all right. We've had a bit of a, as I explained in the preamble, we've had a little bit of a fraught afternoon, but that's all okay. And next week, we'll all be set up. It'll all be very different next week. We're feeling very confident. Basically, we're trying to record a podcast with as much quality as possible and everything else. But the problem we've got is we're in the spare room and there's a lot of stuff in the spare room and we're trying to get in a corner and I'm quite scruffy. And I've got undiagnosed, doesn't even need diagnosing ADHD. And your mother is a tyrant. So it's been quite the afternoon. So we've decided to buy a sofa bed. And that's arriving on Tuesday, a cheap sofa bed to replace the massive king-size bed that's in this room for no reason.
Yeah.
It's the heaviest bed in the world as well, isn't it?
Yeah, like solid oak.
Was it oak or whatever it is, but it's oak because it's solid. It's like a kind of medieval bed, isn't it? It's the kind of bed where...
It's a bed that you get, build, and never move.
It's the kind of bed where some errant, syphilis-ridden king of England beds his 13-year-old French bride to avoid any kind of lineage problems. Do you know what I mean? It's that kind. It's horrible, isn't it?
It's grim.
But it's got kind of a. It's supposed to. I've never liked it.
Added with that image, grim.
Grim. It's the kind of bed that in the middle of the night, if you go for a pee and you come back, you will break your toe.
Yeah.
It's like it's got an attitude, hasn't it, the bed? It's horrible.
It's all like it's got about 16 sharp corners on it as well.
Sharp corners, yeah. Yeah, that's a good thing for a bed. It should have edges, shouldn't it? Like,
round. It should be.
You can't sleep in an armadillo. That's what it feels like, doesn't it? Anyway. So we've got a new sofa bed coming next week. We'll have a nice wall where we've got some nice pictures ready to go up on the wall. It's going to be good. It's going to be all right. We're going to like it from next week. And can I just say thank you for all the messages we've received over the last couple of weeks. We've not been on, and I alluded to this on social media, and I'm not able to go into detail what's happened, but a good friend of mine's not very well, and we've been preoccupied with that, and then we've had one or two other little illnesses within the podcast family. That's fair to say. So we've been off. We've been off for a couple of weeks. I do apologise that you've not had your free thing. Do apologise. I've not delivered your free product to you because we've had some actual real life getting in the way. But anyway, let's bring you up to speed. Izzy's back now from Glasgow.
Where was that meant to be from?
Glasgow. I don't know. It wasn't meant to be anything. Glasgow. Back from Glasgow University. Completed the first year. Passed her exams. Passed first year.
Well, passed most of it.
What did you not pass?
Latin.
Oh, you gave Latin up though, didn't you?
Yeah, but I still didn't pass the semester that I did do.
All right.
Which is why I gave it up.
What does that mean now for your eventual degree?
Nothing.
Nothing. All right. Have you decided what you're doing next year for your subject? Explain what you do.
So, you
You're
take...
doing a theatre studies
I'm
degree.
doing a theatre studies degree, but within that, you take 2 other subjects to build your first and second year.
Yeah.
And then in third year, it's your honours years. And you can either do your degree or you can choose to do a joint honours at that point.
Right.
But I'm not going to do that.
So what are you doing next year? So what have you done this year?
So this year,
You started off
I
with...
started off with Latin, Scottish Lit and theatre.
Okay.
And then discovered that Latin was horrific.
Mm-hmm.
And so I did comparative literature. And then next year...
Complet sounds like a kind of food you get in hospital when when you're wasting away. Oh, give him a lot of complet. And he'll build him up. Comparative literature.
yeah.
What does that mean?
So it's like literature from all different like countries and
So
languages.
they go,
and
I'll
stuff,
read
and
Robinson
you
Crusoe and then
compare.
read Superman by George Bernard Shaw, not DC Comics.
Yeah, pretty much.
And then you go, oh, what's the...
Well, there was also... not really, because there was also films in there.
Was there?
Yeah. And plays.
Right.
So I did Mother Courage and Her Children.
Right, okay. Is that about Russia?
Yeah.
Russia. Okay, so what are you going to do next year if you decide to... Oh, so
Well,
you dropped Latin and you went to
So
do
I dropped
Scottish.
No, incorrect. I did Scottish Lit in first semester and in second
Oh,
semester.
then you dropped
I dropped Latin and did
comparative
comparative literature.
What have you decided to do next year?
Well, you have to take a first year course next year. So one of your subjects is a first year one.
All right, so what are you going to do?
So I'm going to do politics,
And
Scottish Lit, theatre.
Oh, so you're not doing comparative literature next year?
No, because I only took it for one semester, so I can't do the second year course.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
Just a technical little issue. Just keep your microphone a little bit away from you. You're popping, if you notice that.
Yeah.
Because we're not set up at the moment correctly. We're holding the microphones.
We are.
They're very good microphones we bought, new microphones, but they're quite heavy as well. But we have got...
Heavy.
They're quite heavy, so we're holding them at the moment. So, yeah, so that's what you decided to do.
Yeah.
So that's year one done.
Yep.
You've been back, you went back, you came back. You've been up and down. You've been up and down like a bride's nightie. What an awful phrase that is as well. What?
Just the decisions you make.
I actually made a better decision. I nearly said a whore's nightie. Yeah. So I'm glad I
Well,
did.
now you've made both of the
I
decisions.
know, I have made it.
Yeah.
And you always knew I was going to do that as well. So we're heading for a summer of fun. Yeah, and very, very busy times heading up for yourself and I. We're both off to Edinburgh for the Fringe, where you're going to be working, flying,
I am.
working for the company I'm with you. But you're there for the month. I'm there for 12 days. We'll talk about that a bit more as we go along. But overall, then, just give us a précis of the year in Glasgow. How have you found it? You know, highs and lows. Let's break it down. Come on, let's pick it apart.
I mean, I've had a great time. It's weird to think that I was so worried and so stressed,
Yeah,
and so cryy and so sick.
yeah. You were when the first week we left you there.
Yeah.
That we thought genuinely did not think you'd last.
No, neither did I.
Did you not?
I'm surprised that I did. I think the thing is that I think some part of me, even when I was so upset, knew that I would be fine.
What were you upset about?
I don't know. Well, I do know. Like, I was
Tell
me. I'm gonna.
Share.
I think it was just the newness of it all, and the fact that I didn't know exactly what was going to happen, or that I would meet people. You know what I mean? It's just the kind of the uncertainty of it all was probably, and it was also really new, and I'd never like lived on my own or done anything, and I was really busy, and I suddenly had all this work to do, and then...
Do you know what I'm not hearing?
What?
You, Dad.
What do you mean?
Not once did you say the reason you was upset is because you missed me. I thought that was the big reason.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I'm saying that I was not in a familiar environment.
Right. Okay. Fine.
I'm not about to just give you praise just because you sat next to me.
So we dropped you off in September. Final meal of Mother India. I've been there since a bit, have you?
No.
No, Can't afford it, can you?
No.
Oh, no, it wasn't the final meal, actually. We went to that Desi place, didn't we? For that Desi cafe at the end of your road. You know, do you know?
Like when you came to watch the show.
No.
Yeah.
Or was that then?
Mm-hmm.
All right, Anyway, so you've done well. You've joined all these societies. You've made
Yeah.
lots of friends.
I have.
Yeah. You've continued to podcast with me. That's been good.
I have.
You got your own podcast going now.
I have.
Right.
Woo. Well, not actually yet. As they will hear this, it's not been launched.
No, but you
Technically.
started recording it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. And you passed your first year. You made loads of friends. Had a great time. Got yourself a flat now.
I have.
She's tried telling everybody it was in a certain area. And Barca Jim's made it very clear she doesn't live in that area. She lives in a very nice area and pretends to live it. It's on the way to a working class area. I don't know why you bother doing that.
I was not attempting to put up any sort of front because that is what it told me on Google Maps
Well,
when I looked at it. So I can take that one up.
all right.
Jim.
It's a nice area where you are, isn't
Yeah,
it? You
it's
can walk down to
lovely.
the Botanic Gardens.
Yeah.
Like nice cafes and bars around there. Handy for the shops and an easy walk to university.
Yeah, it's about 20 minutes.
Yeah, social life okay. Public transport good.
Yeah.
Near the Aura and Moor.
Yeah.
Botanical Gardens.
Mm-hmm.
Famous scene from one of our favourite TV shows.
Yep.
The Wedding from Still Game.
Yep.
Very nice. So good. That's two places you've lived that I've been in because Kelvin Grove, you were near that. That was I'd featured, hadn't it, in Still Game. Just like I see places when I drive around. They go, oh yeah, I've seen that on there. Still Game. I've seen it. So good. That's all very good then. Yeah. But what we'd do, because we've been away for a couple of weeks, we'd sort of go over the last week or so and then talk about what's coming up in the next week. We've got a bit of a post bag, probably quite a short episode. There's nothing extra to go in other than what we're talking about today. So it's not going to be one of those, here's bits of that, bits of that, because I didn't know what to record, so we've not done that. Do you want to know about what happened to me last night, which involves you first?
And me?
Yeah.
Yeah, go on then.
Okay, so let me tell you what happened last night.
I'm really not liking the look on your face.
Oh, I've got to tell you, there's no way that you don't come out of this good.
Why do you do this?
No,
Wait, come out of this good?
Yeah. There's no way that you come out of this. This is yours. This is for you. Before I tell you this story, I wasn't going to tell you. Okay. So last night, I've got a load of gigs in, and I was up at Ilkley at the Playhouse doing the Stage Fright Comedy Club, trying some new jokes. But obviously you've got to do some bit of old stuff as well. But when I'm trying to get the new jokes in, I'm sort of chatting to the audience a bit more than I would to try and get a springboard to get somewhere because, there's no, technically there are no links between the bits of material I've got and there are no natural ways of getting into the new jokes. So I sort of manufacture that by talking to the audience a little bit. So, because bear in mind, do you remember about 2 years ago, a year and a half ago, I did that gig and I had a bit of and I filmed it and that bloke kicked off with me and I threw him out. And he told me he told me that it was my job to empathise with him or something. Do you not remember? It was on the podcast anyway. So he wasn't there. There's some great people in the audience chatting to them, having a right laugh, including a police superintendent called Alan, I think he was called. And he became, because I was doing that routine about the police performing, I did all that, chatted it through to them. Anyway, there was a family just here. There was mum and dad, and there was two daughters. One was one was 16 and one was 25. And there was mum and dad, and I was chatting to them. And I said, it's great, you brought the kids. I said, do you like stand-up comedy? And he goes, well, she's a big fan. And he pointed to his 16-year-old daughter, Hetty. Big shout out to Hetty. He said, yeah, she's a big fan. And I said, what do you mean you're a big fan of my stand-up? She said, no. She said, like, the podcast. And then she went, well, Izzy, really? It's your first bona fide fan.
Yes.
Hetty,
you, Hetty
is a fan of yours.
You're my number one fan.
That's what she said.
That's so cute.
Yeah, she's really, thinks you're cool. Thinks you're great. Yeah.
Yay.
Imagine how well I took that.
Not well at all.
It threw me. I went, what? Hang on. What? You've come here. You've bought tickets to see me because of my daughter. And she went, yeah. And she was sort of like saying, like, sort of things like, well, that's typical you. So,
I mean, Hetty's not wrong.
no.
You do not take me getting praised very well.
No. So Hetty was lovely, dead smart kid, and I was having a little chat with her. And I said, well, you know, do you like the podcast? And she said, yeah. And then I spoke to the mum, and the mum was like, oh yeah, I have to listen to it because it's on. Like, the dad liked it, but the mum was like, yeah, God, they're always banging on about the podcast. They've always got the podcast on, going on like this. And then I said, oh yeah, we've been off for a couple of weeks. And she went, oh, don't I know it? The mum said that. That's all they talked about.
Oh, God.
So then I went, oh, I said, I don't know how to say. And anyway, I told her the reason why we've not been on, just to make her feel really bad. I told her the exact truth.
What is wrong with you?
Because I was down. You remember when Mike Tyson, when Tyson Fury got knocked down by Deontay Wilder, was it? And he came back from the dead and he just rose up. I came back from the dead with that one. I've been purred down by Hetty telling me she was a fan. So I said to Hetty, I said, oh, do you like the podcast? So he's chatting, yeah, I like the podcast and like this and that. And I goes, oh, is it? And you do like Izzy? She went, yeah. And I goes, is it like, because she's like 3 years older, you're 3 years older than her. I said, is this some kind of like big sister thing going on there? She went, yeah, that's it. To which her big sister went, what? Thought, oh, yes, sister. I know exactly how you feel. It's nice to get usurped, isn't it, every now and then? But a big shout out to Hetty and her family who came along to the gig last night. And yeah, you're number one fan there.
That's great.
Yeah, we're going to have to cultivate that kind of stuff now and get more of your fans.
I'm bringing in the youth.
Yeah, you're going to have to come along to the gigs, do meet and greets. Sign for it. I mean, she did look very disappointed that you weren't there. And you could have come last night because you weren't working. Oh, you were working.
I was working. That was the thing.
I
weirdly spooked you out as I came through the gate.
Wouldn't it be weird if you had come with me and you were just stood at the back? What would I have done at that point? I've gone.
You 110% would have gone, well, she's there.
You would have killed the gig, though. There was a bloke in the audience from Barbados. And he was like this, like Bayesian, that's the name for somebody from Barbados, like Rihanna. And he like talked really cool from Barbados. And he was like about 60, I think. So he's on his holidays in Ilkley. I went, how'd you book an holiday from the West Indies to Ilkley? So I said,
that's something different.
I said, what do you do for a living? He went, I make dreams come true. I went, what? It's the smoothest guy I've ever spoke to. And basically, he's like, I think if you go on a holiday to Barbados, and I think he's a concierge kind of thing. He goes, you want the best restaurant? I'll sort it out for you. You want to know where the good beach is? I'll take you. What a cool guy. Laid back in Barbados. That's what you need, isn't it?
Yeah.
I'd love to go somewhere like that. I've never been to like a paradise place.
No.
Natural paradise. I remember once when I was about 19, me and Computer Mike's ex-wife, before she knew Computer Mike, you know what I'm talking about.
Yes, dear.
We and a mate, there's three of us, went on holiday. And have I ever told you the story? I feel like I've got loads of stories I can tell you now that you're a bit older.
Like your one from Amsterdam.
I don't know if I can tell you this story or not. Yeah, I'm going to tell you the story because it has got no graphic content. Okay. So, we went on holiday, the three of us. And, so the reason I'm telling you this, we went to a place called Crete, which is the largest and the most southerly of all the Greek islands.
I've been.
Have you?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I've been with you.
Been a couple of times.
Yeah, I've been with you. But we didn't go where we went. It's like nice, like eco-friendly, all-inclusive resort where we went. No, when we were like 1920, we went to Malia. Have you heard of Malia?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, it was like that. And whoop, whoop. It was one of those kind of places. And it was quite weird. The three of us went, me, Neil and Jackie, and there was like, three of us. Like a weird little trio, that, isn't it? Anyway, we're all good pals. Jackie and Neil were next door neighbours, they've been childhood pals, and I was really good mates. There was absolutely nothing like, there was no sort of like anybody interested in anybody else other than being pals, and we were good pals. And we went on this relatively cheap holiday, and we had a decent time. We had a really good time, And we got friendly with 3 girls from Burnage who were below us in the flat below us. And they were dead smart, loads of fun and everything else. And we got on with them really well. I liked one of them, okay? And Jackie's big rule was we could do what we wanted, we'd go out and everything else. She said, but do not, whatever you do, leave me on my own at the end of the night, okay? She said, you know, because we were up this hill in the middle of nowhere and it was a bit of a walk, it was dark and she was a bit worried. And she said, whatever you do, that's all I ask is that I don't get left on my own. Yeah, I need, you know.
Which is fair.
Oh, completely fair and 100%, you know, that's what you'd want. So anyway, one night we're in this bar and the girl that I liked said to me, she went, and it was like the most cliched thing of all time. She went, why don't we slip off? So honestly, the whole thing was cliched, like you wouldn't believe. So I went, okay, because that sort of thing never has happened to me. That's not my thing. I'm nearly as bad as you. And
just because Hetty said she's my fan does not mean.
Yeah, all right. So I said to Neil, I said, listen. Suffice to say, I should be leaving early. Yeah. And he went, all right, okay. I said, do not leave Jackie, right?
Yeah.
And he goes, okay. He goes, okay, I will not leave Jackie. Okay. So we go back to the apartamentos where we're staying, the block, and I go in this apartment with the girl, and she's already used one cliche, which is, why don't we slip off, right? So when we got there, she said, can I fix you a drink?
Oh.
Yeah. To which I went, yes. I'll just take a lager. And she said, I'm going to slip into something more comfortable. Right. Okay. So I'm sat on the balcony, right? Warm evening, glass of beer. I'm 19. I've got to tell you this about myself, is it, right? I wasn't like a ladies' man. I wasn't like a Don Juan. I was not like successful with the women. Like I was everybody's mate. Like all the girls liked me, but like, have you ever seen the film Pretty in Pink?
No.
Right. Well, if anyone's ever watched the film, I was Ducky. Right. I was a duck man. I was like the spare. Right. I love you, but not like that. I've heard that enough times in my life. Okay. So I'm on the balcony, smoking a silk cut, drinking a bottle. I used to smoke silk cuts and having a bottle of beer and thinking, this is the best night of my life. The next thing you know, old Jackie Thunderface is stomping up the hill. You know, somebody walks and they're that angry, their feet are flapping like the frogmen. They've come out there. Suddenly their feet are a lot bigger. They're walking them hard on the pavement. She went, I fucking told you. Walking up, I went, what? And she got, and just as she arrived to the apartment, the girl had slipped into something more comfortable, like just the pajamas. And it wasn't like she hadn't got a negligee. And she just put her gym jams on. And she went, hi, Jackie, what's up? She went, he fucking left me. And I was going, Neil. She went, I don't know where he is. To which the girl, the girl from Bernage, then says to me, oh, this is all a bit weird now, a bit awkward. You know, and I was like, no, it's not. Like, no, it's not. Like, we dropped the bottle of milk and I was trying to make a glass out of it by scooping it all up. Oh, okay. So anyway, I went back to our apartment with Jackie and I'm going, why have you done that? Like, she went, you didn't, I said, Neil was there. Anyway, nothing happened. Anyway, 5 or 6 days later, we're 5 or 6 days left of the holiday and the moment had gone. Okay, there was no more cliches. There was no more little winks. There was no more nods. And I was kind of okay about it because, you know, I wasn't too bothered. I was disappointed, but, you know, you do what you do. So anyway, so we come home and about 2 weeks later, we arranged to meet with these girls to go for a drink and look at each other's photographs. Because obviously there's no Facebook then. There was all that. We had to go and get it from the boots and get them developed and everything else. So we all meet in this pub, and these three girls turn up, and we're all having a laugh about the holidays, and we're looking at some photos. I remember. It was, to tell you when it was. Have you ever heard of a thing called global hypercolour?
No.
Right, so global hypercolour were like T-shirts that you wore, and they were heat. So if you got hot, they would change colour. And I had a pair of shorts in them, but your bits are different colour, different heat, aren't they, than the rest of your body? Do you know that when a man's private parts are a bit cooler? That's why they're there. Anyway. So I remember that I wore them, and we had this great time on this holiday. It was dead good, and we were swapping stories and everything else. And the girl from Burnage, that one that I liked, said to me, she went sort of like sotto voce, however you say that, sotto voce. Well, say voce or sotto.
No idea what you're actually saying.
Like in a stage whisper, sotto voce. I don't know. We'll look it up in a minute.
Like VOSE.
No, VOCE. Yeah, just hold my mic. I'll find out. I need to find out this because don't put the mics too close together, because this is, I love doing stuff like this because I think it's really important that once you need to. All right, here we go. That's how you do it. All right.
Oh, it's chi. Yeah, because it's a hard C.
Sotto voce.
Sotto voce. Sotto voce. So sotto voce, she says to me, she goes, you all right? And I went, yeah. She went, is everything sorted now? I was like, what? I thought she meant like with me and Jackie. I went, yeah, we're fine. She went, no, with you. Did you have you been on antibiotics? What? So Jackie, the next day, in her temper, I told these girls that I'd got a dose of, I picked something up off another girl on the holiday. And really, her coming home from the thing had actually saved this girl from Benage. I could have slipped to something more itchy. Yeah. She told them that I picked up a kind of thingy.
That's really funny.
So for the rest of the holiday, right, every time I scratched myself, like on the leg, every time my hands went anywhere near, just brushed myself, she was looking at them going, yeah, there you go. So they was thinking, but the worst bit is, right, Jackie had named the girl. She'd sort of pointed her out, and they knew where she worked and had written her a letter calling her like, how could you go with someone when you know you're carrying a thingy?
That's awful.
I know. She was never going to tell me. She is, honestly, she's nails. She's horrible, isn't she? That is a horrible story, isn't it?
Oh, that's awful.
So listen, like we just thought we'd do is go through the last couple of weeks and see what we've been up to. Sotto voce. And we just thought I'd run through the thing with Izzy here and say what we've been up to. So we just, you've got my calendar now, haven't you? Which is kind of strange. You can see what I've been doing. And you've got some questions about what I've been doing. So we'll start from last Monday, the 10th. It's when you're back to Glasgow. Came back from Glasgow, didn't you?
I did.
That's how we got on. And I had a meeting with Will in the afternoon.
You did? What did you do?
Do you know who Will is?
No.
Will is the director of the special.
Oh, I do know who Will is.
Yes, so Will, Hutchby and I had a meeting and we've decided the special is coming out on Friday, the 28th of June.
Ooh.
6 p.m. 28th of June, 6 p.m. And it'll be on YouTube exclusive. If you want early access or any more details, then join my mailing list by going to justinmorehouse.com. You can find out more about it, get some hidden extras. There's going to be some clips coming out this week, so that's what I did. Monday, I didn't go to the quiz on Monday, which was a shame because of events and stuff. But I had lunch in. I went to Marple on Tuesday. Marple Bridge.
What did you do in Marple?
Well, first off, I bumped into Andy Vattel, you know, my friend. Finders Keepers Andy. And he was getting a delivery. He's like the king of Marple Bridge.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
How do you become the king of Marple Bridge?
Well, by being part of the Marple Bridge hierarchy for the last 200 years. You can trace his family back like 200 years in Marple Bridge. Andy Vattel, he's married to Jane Weaver, you know, the pop star. Do you not know Jane Weaver? She's a bit too old for you. But Andy and Jane, friends of mine, friends of Paul V's. I saw him, but I just saw him on the street. And he's one of the lads I go walking with. And I haven't been walking with him for about a year. And he went, we need to do it, mate. It's what middle-aged men now do now, sort our mental health out, sort our heads out.
Need to have a deep breath.
You do. I genuinely think there's something... I think there's something about seeing a horizon. I think it makes you feel like alive and infantile. Not infantile, small.
Infantile as in like a baby.
No, I don't mean infantile at all.
You don't mean like
Means you mean small.
Yes.
Yeah.
Little.
Yeah, so I said that with her. But I had lunch with my old friend Sean that used to produce my radio show. It was very good. We had a good, nice time. Went to Libby's, it's called, in Marple Bridge. Highly recommended. I had the vegan breakfast. They do cakes. I brought you back a vanilla slice. You remember that?
Ooh.
What was
that?
It was love that. Yeah, it was good, wasn't it? And then over to Chester, where I did some new jokes at Danny's place at the Garden Social. That was good. Wednesday, didn't do anything.
What does flea mean?
Flea?
Yeah.
In my calendar?
Yeah.
What do you think it means?
Have you fleed the dogs?
Yes. It means I got to put the thing on the back of the neck, on the nape of the neck. Yeah, I did that. Is that what you're checking? I love that you check that. What's the next Thursday? Go through my diary. What did I do that day?
Don't know.
6 a.m. in the morning.
Thursday?
Yeah.
The 13th?
Yeah. 6 a.m.
Oh. Book Mum Aqua.
Yeah, so book your nana in for Aqua. I have to get up at 6 a.m. Right? Do you not know this?
Why isn't it 6 a.m.?
So my mum, right, goes to Aqua at the Galleon, whatever it's called, in Didsbury, and she goes twice a week, and, she does... I mean, I'll be honest with you, I don't actually think much goes on at Aqua.
No.
Just loads of old ladies get in the pool and wade around to music. I don't think they're doing much, are they? No. And the woman at the side's doing more, and she's not in the water. So mum goes to this, your nana goes to this thing twice a week, but I have to book her in because she's not with it in that regard. She can't do that sort of stuff. So there's only 25 places or whatever, and you've got to book it 8 days in advance. And the booking opens at 6 a.m. and all them old biddies are right on it at 6 a.m. All the silver surfers, the ones who have got more with it than nana.
Can you not, bulk book?
No. You can only book it 8 days in advance, and it opens at 6 a.m. in the morning. And so my mum goes on Mondays and Fridays. That means I have to get up at 6 on a Sunday morning, which I did this morning. We're recording this on Sunday.
Yeah.
I had to get up at 6, set my alarm at 6 on a Sunday, wake up, book it in, and go back to sleep. And then the same on Thursday, so I did that. And then Thursday night I was down in Birmingham doing the Rainmakers Awards.
Yeah, what's that?
The Rainmakers Awards. It's just men who go to lap dancing bars and make it rain. It's about high-powered businessmen who do deals. That's what it was. I know, it sounds like, but it was good. It was good. Yeah. It was a good thing. Really good charity, actually, that was doing stuff. It's called Kids Village. This woman, young woman, she was ill when she was younger. I don't know exactly what she had. I don't want to misrepresent her by getting it wrong. And she went on holiday to America to this holiday camp, which was called Us and Us Only or something like that. And it's just for families of children with critical illness. And if you think about it, it's really important that, when a child's, poorly, what they want is a change of scene every now and then or something different. So she was raising money for them. I was very inspired by her, and I said I would help her raise some money in the Northwest. She's opening the very first ever kids village, it's going to be called, in Lichfield, which is sort of north of Birmingham, Staffordshire way, near Stoke. So that was good. So that was on Thursday night, and I was up in Nashby and Derby doing a couple of gigs on Friday. I've got to be honest with you, the Derby gig was a bit wank. It was in a rugby club, and there was 60 people staring at me after they had a pie. I was on first. It was a bit weird. It wasn't my favourite cup of tea. Yeah, it wasn't my favourite cup of tea. But I'm doing all these gigs.
You and rugby doesn't really mesh to begin with.
No, not a rugby man. I'm
not a rugby guy.
Not a rugby guy. No, not at all.
No.
Don't understand it. It's weird. Why can't you kick it?
You can.
Yeah, but
only in a certain place.
Yeah, but you can't dribble it, can you? I mean, it's not as beautiful as football, is it? When football, when
football's got a rhythm to it.
Yeah.
Once you get going.
And when sort of like, when a ball's, there's more exciting, like rugby's attrition, isn't it? There's not them flashes of excitement and,
I've never watched a game of rugby. So
there's some beauty in football. I think football's poetry, and I don't think rugby is. So yeah, that was Ashby. And then Ashby's, that's a great gig, always is. And then last night I was at Ilkley, already mentioned it.
Oh yeah.
Hetty's gig. And then today is Father's Day.
It is.
And Izzy
knocked it out the park.
Yeah, you did. You did. You did actually. I tweeted about my breakfast.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, she took me to Dishoom.
Did.
For breakfast. That was excellent. It was brilliant. You bought me a bucket hat from Lancashire Cricket Club.
I did.
Slightly small, so it makes me
But
look...
I am not blaming the hat, I'm blaming your big head.
I have got a big head.
You have got
it's
a
an
massive
average
head.
I haven't got a massive head. My head is not oversized. My head is average. I've got an average size head. I've got a fat face, but I've not got a big head. That's fair to say. I have not got a big head. I've got a fat face. So I'm not... Anyway, so it just about fits me. You got me that, and then you... I can't believe you got me this.
Well, right, before you say this, is it or is it not something you've been talking about and something you've wanted? Just on face value.
Yes.
Thank you. So,
Would you like to tell the boys and girls what you got me?
Therefore, is it not a thoughtful present?
Yeah. Tell everybody what you bought me.
I bought you a voucher worth £20 for you to have a manicure. And not just like a normal manicure. You're getting like full shebang.
What
like
kind? I don't want any.
All your dead skin.
Yeah.
Gone.
I've been getting debraised.
What?
But I'm not having any nail varnish on them, am I?
No, it's just like you might have some like a top coat on. Or
No.
Not a top coat, like
polish.
make it shiny.
Polish.
Yeah.
Faizan Shah, he has manicures.
I mean, there is nothing wrong with a little bit of
No,
gel.
Bernie Mac. Do you know Bernie Mac, the comedian?
No.
Yeah, he's in all the Oceans films. He famously used to have, and in the films, he goes and has a manicure.
I mean,
yeah, I'm having it. I'm going for it. I'm kind of okay with it. Next week,
Harry Styles has his own.
I'm not Harry Styles,
brand.
am I? Yeah, he's what?
He has his own nail polish brand.
Does he?
Pleasing, yeah. Well, it's like nail polish and other stuff now, like makeup and that.
Male makeup.
Well, I mean, makeup isn't male or female.
No,
specifically.
not. So this week, a lot going on. I'm in Shrewsbury I've never done that gig before.
What, Shrewsbury?
Taking Nana to the dentist. Taking you to the dentist. That's just a dentist day.
Yeah.
Then Shrewsbury on Wednesday night. And then I'm in, what am I doing on? I'm doing another Thursday.
Watch out for Thursday.
Right, what's happening Thursday?
6 a.m.
Yeah.
Wake up call.
Yeah. Got to put Nana in for a thing. England are playing at 5 o'clock. I'm in Liverpool doing an awards ceremony for a company, the Flexographic Industry Association. It's the FIA UK Print Awards. 500 guests celebrating the greatest in flexography at a glittering ceremony. I might get me nails done before that.
Ooh.
It's glittering. And then Friday night you can come and see me in Knaresborough. Which is not that far from Ilkley. It's just sort of near Harrogate, Knaresborough, very good, at the Fraser Theatre. If you want to find out how to get tickets, as always, you can go to my website, which is...
JustinMorehouse.com.
That's right. You need to get a website soon, don't you?
You said that with such contempt.
Where Hetty can go to. If you want to get in touch with us, no, it's not. It's podcast at justinmorehouse.com. That's podcast at justinmorehouse.com. But let's have a look in the postbag. Do we have anything? Yes, we do. We've got a couple of messages. The first one, the burner phone message, is from John the Banker. And John the Banker sent us this, and he sent it to 07495 717 860. That's 07495 717 860. Let's hear what John the Banker has to say.
Ian and Izzy, John the Banker here once again. I'm fortunate to be recording this from a beautiful part of the world, Noosa Heads in Queensland, Australia. Even more fortunate to have a part of the family up here who's able to provide me with free accommodation. Otherwise, there's not a chance I'd be able to afford to stay here.
And he's a banker.
I've been here about 3 weeks in Australia, but my initial part of the trip was visiting family in the Melbourne area. And the highlight of being in Melbourne wasn't going to the MCG to see an Aussie rules game.
I've been there.
It wasn't visiting the bars, restaurants that Melbourne has to offer, but it was going into a department store. Now, about 8-9 weeks ago, an old clip of yours resurfaced, and I never knew what the bedding department in Australian stores was called. And when I mentioned this to my Australian family, they just looked at me and said, well, yeah, of course it's called Manchester. But they didn't know why. So not only did you educate me, but I've educated them as to why it is called the Manchester department. So every day is a school day, Justin. Bye for now.
Cheers, John the Banker.
Cheers.
Love that.
Yeah.
Love that. Taking my
You got-
routine back.
So much anger from people
Yeah.
on that.
I've got it's done over 1 million views on Facebook alone at the moment. It's doing very well on TikTok and Instagram, and I've just left it now. I can't get involved.
No.
There's about 8 or 9 separate argumentative threads going on, right?
Yeah,
There
of
is.
course there is.
But
'Cause it's
all
an
sorts of different
Instagram
stuff.
Reel.
Because all different stuff. There's different things going on. I just left it. I'm just
Yeah.
leaving it. Because every time they argue, it just pushes it up the thing.
It's the algorithm.
Yeah, it's getting a
They're
lot
doing
of getting a lot of love. And it was in Melbourne that I found about the Melbourne
Yeah.
about the Manchester
It's
thing.
also like, why would you feel the need to lie about that? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, why? What would the aim be?
Yeah, I've not made that up clearly.
Yeah.
So everybody. I mean, I think it's dying out. I think it's quite an
Yeah.
old-fashioned saying, but I think the sort of the young people. It's called linen, mate. It's called linen. Like, well, it used to be just Yeah. I remember, Al
Just
Murray.
have a laugh.
Al Murray, the pub landlord. He used to say to people on the internet, because he's higher status than I am. He's got more skin in the game and all that. He just goes. People would say that. You go, mate, you're arguing with a joke. You're actually arguing with a joke. That's all you do. So yeah, thanks for that, John. Melbourne, what a great place. One of my favourite memories of night out in Melbourne with your uncle came up to see me. He lives in Australia. He was in Sydney. He brought some of his mates, and they got absolutely. I mean, they came to see me. I think they came for a Jolly Boys couple of nights out. They came to see me, then I didn't see them again because obviously I'm not a boozer. And they got absolutely smashed. The next day I met them for breakfast, and it was in the kind of like the area of Melbourne, a bit like the Northern Quarter. So it was a bit like textile trading, a bit smelly, a bit drainy. And it was we sat outside having breakfast, and everybody had a big breakfast. And the 3 of them had ordered Bloody Marys, so 4 of them had ordered Bloody Marys, tomato juice and vodka and all that. And one of them's had to go, I can't do that, mate. Sorry, mate. Can I order something else? And he went, of course. He went, can I have a glass of Rioja? A glass of red wine with his breakfast.
Oh, no.
All right. We've had an email from Jim Burke, Barca Jim. Barca Jim's written to us, and he's got a problem. Would you like to hear it?
I would.
Welcome back, Justin and Izzy. I need your advice. As you know, just 2 short weeks ago, I married Ellie, and you'll agree it was a great day.
It was.
Great evening. You didn't go all day, did you?
No.
2 people in love, tying the knot, and afterwards we headed to Barcelona for a much-needed break. It was very relaxing. We spent a couple of days on the beach, during which Ellie took the opportunity to catch up on back episodes of the pod. I heard numerous chuckles and titters as she listened to you and Izzy catching up your world-class crowd work at gigs, as you would expect. However, there were only 2 instances where I heard your actual IRL lols, in real life lols. And you can imagine my horror when I was advised that on both occasions, the cause of the hilarity were Dear Johns. This is where I need your honest and blunt advice. In light of the above, have I made a terrible mistake again? Toodle pip, Jim. Oh, Jim, have you gone too far getting married to a woman that thinks that Dear John is the highlight of the podcast? Oh, I don't know. Are you ready for this week's Dear John?
Oh, I'm never ready, but
Okay.
let's have a listen.
And we'll close off the rest of this, the end of the podcast with Dear John this week. Just to remind you as well, like this week's gigs, Wednesday the 9th of June, the Morris Hall in Shrewsbury. The 21st of June, I'm at the Fraser Theatre in Knaresborough. If you want to find out more, go to justinmorehouse.com, where you can find my Edinburgh dates on there and everything else. And if you want to know about the special, join the mailing list by going to the website justinmorehouse.com. Dear John, my wife and I have waited just over 2 years to book our honeymoon. We had to save quite a lot for it. We're due to fly out to the Maldives in August. My wife has now invited some of our friends to fly over and spend a couple of days with us at the resort. They haven't booked it yet, but I was hoping it could be just the two of us. We've waited so long for this, and it's our honeymoon after all. Am I being selfish or out of order? I've told my wife that I'm not happy about it, but she thinks I'm being dramatic as we'll still have over a week on our own. I really need some advice, John. Thanks, Jason. What do you think about that before we go into John's answer?
Well, I have a feeling I know what John's answer will be. But, I mean, I feel like it's fair enough. They've waited a while. Why would they not want to have a holiday by themselves? Need to look a bit deeper into that relationship.
Jason, your wife doesn't like you. She wants these people there so she doesn't have to spend all the time with you. Now, what I would do, it seems like they've not booked it yet. Let them book it. Make a move on one of the women. Teach your wife a lesson.
Teach your wife a lesson.
Make a move. We just send Jackie there, don't we? We just send Jackie to tell the women
intervene
that he's got some venereal disease. As always, be nice to your nanas.
Don't do drugs.
And stay in school. We'll see you next week. Bye.
Bye.